Hey guys, have you ever wondered why some book series take off, capturing readers and turning them into lifelong fans, while others struggle to gain traction? Today, I'm sharing the secrets behind what makes a book series marketable. Whether you're starting a new series or you're revamping an old one, these tips are going to help you create a series that sells. This video is for fiction authors who want to write a series that resonates with readers, meets market demand, and generates consistent sales, most of the time organically. Stick around until the end for a bonus tip on how to make your series stand out in a crowded market. Plus, I'll share a resource to help you plan your next marketable series. So, first things first, you're going to have to start with your reader expectations. The first key to any marketable series is understanding what readers in your genre expect. Each genre comes with specific tropes or themes and emotional beats that readers crave. So, for example, romance, obviously, you're going to need a happily ever after and strong tropes like enemies to lovers or small town settings. However, in fantasy, people are going to expect rich world building, epic quests, or morally complex characters. And if you're writing a mystery or a thriller, a compelling protagonist, clever twists, and satisfying resolutions. Pro tip, study the best selling series in your genre to identify patterns. And especially if you're an indie author, study not just the traditionally published things, but the other indie authors. Pay attention to tropes, character archetypes, and even cover designs, even how the blurb is formatted. Is it first person? Is it third person? Present tense, past tense, things like that. All right, the second thing you're going to want to think about is a strong hook for the series. Your series needs a strong hook that grabs attention and sets it apart. A hook is the unique angle or premise that makes readers want to pick up your book. So, how do you find your hook? Here are a couple of questions to ask yourself. Number one, what makes your series different from others in your genre? Number two, can you summarize the premise in one compelling sentence? And number three, does your series promise an emotional or escapist experience that readers can't exist? So, for example, The Hunger Games might be a fight to the death competition in a dystopian world, while Bridgerton will be Regency era love stories with a touch of scandal and humor. A pro tip, your hook should be easy to communicate. If it intrigues readers immediately, you're definitely on the right track. The third step of all of this is building a compelling world. Whether your series is set in a small town or a high fantasy realm or a gritty urban landscape, your world needs to feel immersive and believable. So, some key elements of world building is setting, obviously, create a backdrop that enhances the story's tone and mood, the rules and the systems, so establish the norms, conflicts, or magical systems that define your world. This could be a historical setting. This could be a dystopian setting, things like that. What are the rules specifically for your world? And then continuity. Maintain consistency across books to keep your readers engaged. So, for example, think of Hogwarts and Harry Potter. The school itself becomes its own character, drawing readers into the magic and the mystery of the series, right? And a pro tip, add small, memorable details like unique traditions or even slang to make your world come alive and immersive for your readers. So, step four, you have to create characters that your readers are going to love. Characters are the heart of any series. To make sure your series is marketable, your protagonists and even side characters need to leave a lasting impression. So, here are some tips for creating memorable characters. Give them clear goals, flaws, and strengths. Create compelling relationships, whether romantic, platonic, or adversarial. Adversarial. Oh my gosh, and allow them to grow and change over the course of the series. So, for example, readers fell in love with Kaz Brecker in Six of Crows because he's both brilliant, but he's also deeply flawed, making him relatable, but also really fascinating. So, a pro tip, consider creating spin offs for popular side characters or give them their own book within the series. Readers love to revisit worlds and characters they already love and adore. Okay, so having said all of that, your next step is to create that series arc. A marketable series isn't just about the individual books, it's about the overarching story that ties everything together. So for your standalone series, like if you just created a small town series with a different couple per book, this could be the town itself. It could be brothers. It could be, for me, a hockey team that, we see them at the beginning of the season in book 1, and by book 12, it's the end of the season. Do they have the Stanley Cup yet? They can still jump into the series at any point, but there's that little, very subtle, tiny arc that is going on, um, that sort of shows the passage of time and it ties everything together. However, with dynamic series, like maybe plan your series ahead. So start with the end. How do you want your series to conclude? Second, divide the journey into milestones. Major turning points in each book are really, really important. And then finally, balance individual and overarching conflicts. So each book should stand alone in terms of, um, like, even if you're writing a dynamic series, you should still resolve the immediate conflict in that book. But there could be a bigger boss, or there could be an overarching like a overarching conflict that lasts throughout the series. Um, Contributing to the overall big picture of it. So, for example, in A Court of Thorns and Roses, each book resolves its own conflict while building toward a larger war that spans across the series. And here's a pro tip: leave small breadcrumbs or mysteries in earlier books that pay off later. Readers love feeling rewarded for paying attention. Okay, now after doing all of that, your series needs consistent branding to signal to readers that the books belong together. So this includes covers. Use cohesive designs, fonts, and colors. Titles. Create a naming convention or themes. So all titles starting with the word the. It could be like alliteration. Like in my Slapshot series, it's sort of like the only one that doesn't follow this is book 1. So book 1 is X's and goals, but you have that and in there. But then book 2 is black eyes and blue lines. Book 3 is lip locks and block shots, right? So it's like you have that like da 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 with an and in the middle. Um, for my Minor League Mayhem series, it was rookies, right? So rookies do it better, rookies say it better, rookies touch it better, things like that. Um, so for my bad boys of the NHL, it was just the position. So the enforcer, the darling, the captain, things like that. Again, it all started with the, but it was all a hockey position. So it tied into that series. And then finally, blurbs. Highlight the series hook and the common tropes in your blurbs. For example, in the Bridgerton series uses individual character names for titles, but all covers feature that elegant Regency era aesthetic that ties them all together. And a pro tip: branding isn't just visual, it's emotional. So deliver a consistent tone and promise across the series to build that trust with your readers. So for those of you who have stuck around for the entirety of the video, here is a bonus tip. Plan for long-term engagement. Build a community around the series with bonus content, exclusive sneak peeks, or special editions. This keeps readers invested between releases. If you're ready to plan your next series, I have an entire course on how to utilize a series so you can make money off of this without even spending money on marketing. And I don't mean like, oh, covers and editing. I mean like paid advertisements. I have a free guide that will teach you how to do that, that leads into this course. And it's just how to get your first $1,000 in book sales just by building your platforms and creating these free systems that will allow you to build the connection with your readers. I'll leave both things in the description box so you can check them out for yourself. Please like this video if you found it helpful, subscribe for more tips, and comment below with your favorite book series and why you loved it so much. What made it unforgettable? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.